Hey, welcome back. This is Cavallo, your fun-loving host. Today, we're talking some trash about how to stop loving somebody who doesn't love you. I'm going to give you 5 steps to do it today. And stick around for step number 5, because it's one you're not going to expect. Have you ever heard this quote? If you love someone, let them go free. If they don't come back, it was never meant to be. Well, that's sweet and all, and it's a positive message, but it doesn't really help when you can't have the person you want. When you love someone and they don't love you back, dude, it sucks. When I was a kid, you know what? I liked girls. I liked all the girls, but they didn't all like me back. A lot of the ones I really liked weren't all that into me, in fact. I remember back in 10th grade, I was walking up to my girlfriend at the time, Stacy, and we were between classes. I was excited to see her. I thought, this is a girl I can date. Until she looked up at me with kind of a sheepish stare. She was avoiding my touch as I tried to reach and hold her hand. And she says, I don't know if I like you that way. That way? What other way is there, honey? Well, it turns out that I was heading for the friend zone. That's right, faster than any way I could possibly imagine. I was going to that deep, dark pit of relationships. I got there by the start of the next class period. As it happened, Stacy and I fizzled out faster than a firecracker thrown in a pond. So that was my first encounter with unrequited love, and it wouldn't be my last. It wasn't until my late 20s that I finally got rid of that tendency of making women a little bit more interested in making me a sad consolation prize of the friend zone. Now, over the years, I got the hang of not being so damn needy, but it wasn't easy. I had to call in an exorcist, basically. The power of Carlos compels you. The power of you get the idea, right? Well, not really. It was actually a bunch of exorcists. I had a sensei to teach me karate. I had a business coach to show me how to move up in the world. I had a therapist to help me get rid of my shaming and insecurities, and so on and so on. But even that didn't stop me from experiencing the times when I just wasn't the right flavor for a girl, making me a friend instead of the lover that I wanted to be. So let's talk real quick about some steps to let a person go, because you know that if you keep on loving somebody that doesn't love you back, it's going to drive you nuts. Stop that loving feeling. Step number 1, sit with the awkward. You know, it's probably not going to come as any surprise, but most people can't stand to sit with their own emotions. We run to escape them as fast as we possibly can. And the trend has always been with us. It started out as gossip, and that turned into soap operas on TV, where we just kind of got off on that whole thing. The reality is that there will be a little pain in letting go of a person. It's not horrible, but there will be some amount of heartbreak. And it's often worse for you because, well, the other person never matched your feelings, which feels even lonelier. To make matters worse, the feeling also has rejection built into it. I do want you to watch out for these warning signs. Changes in your eating or sleeping habits, trouble controlling negative thoughts, feelings of hopelessness or helplessness, changes to your regular mood, or thoughts of self-harm. If you encounter any of those, you might need to seek out some professional help. Those are warning signs of a loss of mental self-control and possibly bordering on obsession. He's just not that into you. Step number 2, drop the control illusion. When we start to fall for somebody who isn't in love with us, we start to lash out with delusions of control. I will control him. We think that we can make somebody fall for us, and we'll even try out the most ridiculous methods like voodoo, magic spells, psychics, and hypnotic techniques. By the way, yes, I personally know people who have tried out all of those methods to get somebody to love them. You can't control his feelings for you. We often think we can make him love us, but the opposite belief is something we don't want to face. The truth is, we need to believe that we can have some impact on the other person, right? If he doesn't love you, step number 3, go away. This one's simple, but not easy. Leave him alone for a while. Don't call him. Don't email him. Don't text him. You might find this one really difficult, but it's the true test of character. If you can't control yourself from doing those things, if you find like you must do that, you must text him in the middle of the night and let him know about your crazy, well, if you must do that, that's a sure sign that you do need to start talking to somebody about the situation. Because if you keep going back, you're just reactivating all those emotions and feelings. You got to take that break. He doesn't want you. Step number 4 is to purge. Now, this one's very simple, but it's not easy. Pack all his crap up in a box and stow it away. All the gifts he gave you, anything that he gave you that reminds you of him, if there's anything. Hopefully there's not much here, but if you're clinging to anything you got from him, it's got to go. How to stop loving him. Step number 5, get ready to rumble. When you start feeling the thoughts of him fading and you're less distracted, then it's time for you to get your butt back in gear. You should start dating as soon as possible. even if you think it might be a little too soon. The reason is that it's easy to create a fantasy relationship in your head when you've got nothing else going on. We often imagine what-if scenarios in our heads to indulge our fantasies. So the sooner you get back out in the real world of dating and meeting people, even if it's just casually, the better off you're going to be. But the second you run into another attractive guy that likes you back, you're going to be wondering, why the hell did you spend all that time obsessing over that other dude? What's his name again? Hopefully, you're forgetting him more and more by this point. Consider this your wake-up call to jump in the ring again. And if you were focused and really did want to get over your infatuation, you're going to be in a whole better place now after you took those steps. So I want to hear from you. Comment below. Tell me about those situations you've been in where you love the person, they didn't love you back. How did you handle it? What did you do? And did any of this stuff work for you? I'm sure it will if you use all 5 steps. Trust me on this one. And don't forget, make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe because, hey, this stuff is good. I put energy into it. It's awesome. And number 3, turn on notifications. You want to make sure to know when the next video comes out. You got to do that these days. Otherwise, YouTube's going to have you watching cat videos till you puke. This is Cavallo from datingadviceguru.com. That's right, your one-stop shop for all that's good in dating advice and relationship advice. As always, live and love with passion. And talk a little trash, huh?